pick one or two a day and listen to them off. And this one is asking about the ongoing, let's say, conflict between Florida and Disney. Check it out.
Hey, John, this is Alan. I know you don't like to talk about all the TMZ stuff and all that type of things, but I was just wondering if you saw Bob Iger's recent comments. I think it was an investor's call or some sort of call, in which he clearly was making, I think, a few threats, and he clearly was stating his position against the governor of Florida. And while he said they won't move out of the state of Florida, he talked about their investments and a whole bunch of other things. I was wondering if you could give your thoughts on Bob Iger's recent comments, and do you think it's possible they could actually leave the state of Florida or maybe reduce their investments in Disney World by chance? Thanks. Love to hear your thoughts.
How will this affect the Disney company and whether they will shoot, film, continue to have a theme park and all that kind of stuff in Florida? And now with these types of questions coming up, it garners our interest. For those of you who haven't been following the drama, this is the very quick, what do you call it, guys? Call it Cliff here again? Notes. Cliff Notes. I mean, they're really called Cole's Notes, but here are the Cliff Notes. Here's a quick oversimplification of the Cliff Notes.
That was cute.
Or the Cole's Notes, sorry.
That's cute.
So Disney enjoy kind of this designation of like a self-governance kind of thing. They got a plot of land that they're kind of, in a way, get to function as their own government over. It's a special designation. Well, back in 2022, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, they decided to pass a bill that has become known as the Don't Say Gay bill, right? Now, eventually, Disney, under the time of the CEO, Bob Chapek, who was CEO at the time, came out firmly against it and vocalized that, they will try to change hearts and minds and try to get that law overturned at some point, which is the right of every individual, organization, and even corporation in America to do and say that we don't like this law. We want to try to get it changed. That's the right of every individual, group, and even corporation in this country to do. Now, right after that happened, Governor Ron DeSantis started to make moves against Disney in retaliation for speaking out against his bill to take away Disney's special designation rights over that plot of land they've got in Florida. Now, it should be clear to say that Disney broke no laws. They didn't do anything, and never was there any discussion about taking away Disney's special designation prior to speaking out against the law that was being passed in Florida. That was it. And it should also be pointed out the government is not allowed to retaliate against people for expressing an opinion. If Disney had broken some laws, if Disney had physically done something wrong or incorrect, it would be understandable. But Disney didn't do anything other than express that this is wrong. They believed that the law they were passing in Florida was wrong. That's it. Now, look, whether you agree or disagree with the laws they were passing in Florida is completely irrelevant to this conversation. The bottom line is any individual group or even corporation should be allowed to the simple act of expressing, saying out loud that we think that this is right or we think that this is wrong. And the fact of the matter is that Florida, in pure juvenile, petulant vengeance, decided to retaliate against any entity that dare speak against it. Now, Bob Iger, Big Papa Iger, really, decided to make this statement the other day. It was part of an investor's call. This comes to us from Variety. He said this. Bob Iger said, regarding Florida, I have a few things I want to say about that bill, Iger said. First of all, the case that we filed last month, of course, because Disney is now suing the state and suing Ron DeSantis for attacking their First Amendment rights to express their thoughts and opinions without fear of reprisals. He goes, first of all, the case that we filed last month made our position and facts very clear. This is about one thing and one thing only, and that's retaliating against us for taking a position about pending legislation. And we believe that in us taking that position, we are merely exercising our right to free speech. Also, this is not about special privilege or a level playing field or Disney in any way using leverage around the state of Florida. Now, this part becomes very, very important. But since there's been a lot said about special districts in this arrangement that we had, I want to set the record straight on that too. There are about 2,000 special districts in Florida, and most were established to foster investment in development. We were one of them. It basically made it easier for us and others, by the way, to do business in Florida. And we built a business that employs, as we've said before, over 75,000 people. I believe Disney is the number one employer in the state of Florida and attracts tens of millions of people to the state. So while it's easy to say that the Reedy Creek Special District, that's Disney's district, that the Reedy Creek Special District, which was established for us over 50 years ago, benefited us, it's misleading to not also consider how much Disney benefited the state of Florida. Now, he also goes on to say this. Florida has tried to make the case of, oh, it's just that these special districts, it's not good for the state. So Disney's like, that's cool. How come we're the only one you're attacking? Mm-hmm. Now, they just also filed some stuff in a suit where they pointed out in Ron DeSantis' own book where he basically admitted, yeah, we're going to hit back at Disney for speaking against us. They're going to lose this case. I'll be honest with you. I have several shades of gray myself about how I feel. I think I'm a little too conservative for liberals and a way too liberal for conservatives myself, but that's irrelevant. I don't care whether you're talking about the Don't Say Gay bill or wear red on the fourth Tuesdays of every month bill. I don't care. If you just say something, you shouldn't have to fear the government retaliating against you just for saying it. Could Bob Iger at some point say, you know what? Screw you then. And literally upheave everything Disney out of Florida and move out of town, taking billions of dollars in tax revenue and almost 100,000 jobs out of state because there's already other states lining up and trying to court Disney saying, hey, if you're looking for someplace else for Disney World, we got open doors. Is that something Bob Iger will do? A lot of people are speculating today that's what Disney's going to do. I'm here to tell you they will not. They won't. And I'll tell you why they won't. It's the same reason that the tree doesn't worry about its dispute with the squirrel. Bob Iger knows Disney has been around long before Ron DeSantis was ever born. And they know they're going to be there long after Ron DeSantis dies. They know that they are the eternal city. They know that. And what Disney is not going to do is make some radical in the moment business decision when they know, you know what? We have an unfriendly government to us right now, or a government that we are unfriendly towards right now. And in 3 years, we might not. And then in 12 years, we might have another government that we're not friendly with. But then 16 years from now, we will again. And Disney knows that. The tree knows I'll be here long after the squirrel is gone.
They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
Donald, he's fierce.
Hey, maybe we have to deal with 3 years, 6 years, 8 years of a pain in the ass. But what we've seen in culture and in America and in our countries is that everything flows back and forth all the time. And Disney knows that. And let's also call a spade a spade. The charge is being led by the governor there, who is trying to score points because he's going to be in a very hotly contested nomination battle with another person in his party that he probably isn't going to win. So, I mean, he's probably not even going to get the Republican nomination, but that's what he's trying to do. He's going to try to use Disney as a way to score as many political points as he can for people within his own party to try to score the nomination. And it looks like at every time he's tried, Disney has outsmarted him.